Let's see if that works out. And then end this one. So I'll move you guys over really quick. Sit tight. It'll just move you right over. Stays linking my socials. Or, sorry, SARS. And if you would like to watch any of my other content, make sure to give it a sub. Be right back. Okay. Hey, Roa. So give me 1 second actually first for me to run to the bathroom and then make a quick phone call. 等一下我今天会再玩这个. Give me 1 second. Daily check-in event. This is what I was trying to get other people to do, but you get a guaranteed Deca extraction ticket, which we'll be pulling on in just a little bit. Give me 1 minute.
그대 드디어 목적지를 찾은 것이오.
Hold on. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me mute while I make this call really quick.
그대 드디어 목적지를 찾은 것이오.
I'm back. I just realized my translator was picking up stuff that was coming from the phone call, not even stuff that was like coming from my microphone. So it was like reading out the transcript of my call onto the Billy stream. And I was like, wait. I had to open up a new tab to cut that off. But yep. That's a thing. Oh, so if you were doing the login section for the last couple of days, this daily check-in event, the last one after 2 weeks, you get this free Deca Extraction ticket, which is guaranteed to give you a 3-star. I think I'm getting something good. Whoa, I got 2 of them! Dude, Limbus Company is super generous with, like, giving you really good pulls. Are you muted? Yeah, I was muted. I was on a call later. Oh my god, please something good, actually. Let's see what it is.
이번 야간 자율 학습은 누구도 빠지지 않았군.
Is this a DAC? DAC Mirror Salt?
새로운 지식을 배우는 것.
This one's pretty good. This is a syncing ID. And then we got a repeat of, oh, this Gregor one. This Gregor one's kind of goofy. Well, that's pretty good. I don't have a lot of Mersal IDs, so. Is that a good Mersal ID? I mean, like, I see his best ones aren't those. His best ones are his poise ones, so I have, like, Blade Lineage and, Sync Association. The one I need most of is Sinclair. I only have one Sinclair and I... Oh, wait, no! I forgot I got this one. I tried to spend it all before the end of it, but I also didn't get it. We should do, like, a 10 pull over here, too. For the Gregor and Rhodian IDs. Yeah, let's do it. We didn't get anything. Maybe we'll do 2 10 pulls because, yeah. Good night, Longball. Wanan. We'll do 2 10 pulls. We'll do 2 for now. Yippee! The heart of the cards has rewarded me. I wonder which one I'm gonna get. Wait. Neither of them. I got W Corp Yisang. You weren't listed on this banner. I mean, I'll take it. Not who I wanted, but I'll take it. Because I do want these guys. These are just the Haso branch. So, I didn't do a react to these, but these are Rupture with a unique one for Poise. These are like Rupture double as Poise IDs, which are pretty good. I love the double up Poise IDs. Because it lets you like be more versatile with your team. Watch your back. That you think pull could have been me. I mean, look, it looks okay. Was there anything I need to take care of before that? I think I'm good. Alright, well, let's get started on Canto 8. The Surrendered Witnessing. Let me just turn the sound up a little bit.
해가 내 얼굴을 물끄러미 바라보고 있어. 눈을 감아도 마찬가지요.
Alright, we're starting out with the fight already. I don't remember leaving off on a fight. I think I'm just going to use my bleed team as well. Although I could do a rupture team. Something tells me I'm going to have to use him though soon. Okay. You have them 55 already? Yeah, I've been stocking up on a lot of level up tickets just because I was like, oh my god, I'm going to get the new ID and it's going to be super cool. And also the new battle pass gives you a lot more stuff.
우수수 하늘 가득 흩날릴 때 빛깔 잃고 향기 멎은들
I did a reading of this as a dub.
꽃 갈퀴 손에 들고 뜰을 나섰건만.
Thanks, Vixie. Sprinkling my Lux into your next pulls. Oh yeah, if you don't want spoilers, look away.
떨어진 꽃잎 밟을까 서성거리네. 그러니까 결국 이 풍진 세상 눈을 감지 않는다면 벗어날 도리가 없겠지.
보가 얼마나 고단하고
참.
여의치한 여정이었느냐.
Little about you. You must have walked and toiled tirelessly on your journey home.
험난하진 않았어요.
I wouldn't say I suffered much, grandmother. My days were always filled with new and interesting things to see.
대체 뭐라고
What are they talking about over there?
식탁이 너무 넓어서 말소리도 잘 들리질 않고.
They're sitting so far apart that I can hardly hear them.
이걸
I mean,
식탁이라고
is this
부르는
even a
거예요?
dining table? I can't even see who's sitting at the other end from here.
보이질 않는데요.
어딘가 불편하신 점이라도 있으신가요?
Is there anything bothering you, dear guest? If this humble servant can help with any...
불편?
Oi, there's something bothering me, alright.
성가시게 왔다 갔다 하는 게 제일
We're in the middle of a meal. Can you please stop?
아니에요.
Nope, nope. There's nothing bothering us at all. Everything's good.
보호가 친구분들을 소개시켜 주겠니?
Hmm? This guy's ringing out loud. Do you not want me to? When you have to use Honglu, you get a rental. That's the level of... Oh! Oh, right! They did that last time with Donkey, too. Hey, Juan. Oh boy. I never knew how to act in front of others' parents. Where should I look? Is this an appropriate size for a polite smile? I hope I don't come off too smarmy. What's smarmy? Oh, my category's wrong? Let me go fix that really quick. How do I change? It's nothing to fuss over. Think of this as your own place and enjoy your time here. Woohoo! Thank you! But woo, this place is so huge that I can hardly relax. I'm worried I might get lost going out for a cup of water. Ah, don't you worry. We have stray people shelters located all around the house for that. Our servants visit them once a month to collect anyone who's unfortunately gotten lost. If they're still alive, that is. Ah, Honglu. That has to be the funniest joke you've ever told. Ha, I wasn't joking. But I'm glad you enjoyed it anyways. I must ask, Honglu, for I spy no other siblings of yours here. This is quite odd, for I thought this to be a welcoming party for your return. Hey, it's my welcoming party too. Besides, what makes you think we'd ever want to see their stupid faces, just to get mad? It's been like 10 whole years since we've even shared a meal together. Oh, and don't even think about trying to chat me up. Did you already forget what I said earlier? There's nothing between us anymore. We're enemies. Did we initiate the conversation though? That was kind of embarrassing. I remember how it left off. Oh, I'm simply so glad that my son Baoyu has returned as a man who can now more than carry his own weight, and unharmed too. So dear Baoyu, I don't mean to rush, but when are you planning to depart again? Nothing has been decided yet, Mother. I see. I'm simply concerned that were you to stay here to be prolonged, perhaps you might fade before your duties are completed. She has a really pretty design. Do you not also agree, Venerable Jiamu? Indeed. Dear Baoyu, our peerless treasure, tarry not overlong in this mundane world. Leave when the time is right and fulfill your worth. Okay, grandmother. Mother. Throughout the entire familial discussion, Honglu's expression remained the same, in that tranquil, perpetual smile. Despite his return after years of wandering, being met with the family's obvious push to make him leave as soon as possible, he stands unaffected, as though he were expecting this gaudy yet hollow welcome. With his attitude being so passive, I also had no choice but to watch as a bystander. A few hours ago. The Pelican will be here soon. A Pelican? Whoa, so cool. That sure sounds like a fancy ride. Isn't that super, Greg? Oh yeah! Are we getting a Pelican or whatever? To give us a ride all the way to the mansion? The usual comedy pair's desperate effort to lighten the mood are particularly appreciated today, as tragically ineffective as they seem to be. Yes, the LCB and Jiaxitun will be heading to Da Guanyuan where one of the most prominent families of H-Corp reside. Whoa. If they send a whole pelican to pick us up, does Honglu's family already know that he'll be participating in the family hierarchy war?
아니요.
No, it's highly unlikely that they're aware. After all, it can be assumed that the most likely reason that the company waived it until last minute to relay us this order was to minimize the chance of information leakage.
그저 귀한
Therefore, it would be correct to presume that the pelican is here merely as a gesture of welcome for Honglu and Jashichun's return.
그런 만큼 가마를 타고 갈 수 있는 건
Which means that only the invited, Honglu, Jashichun, and their factions can ride the pelican. Unfortunately, this means that the LCCB, Virgilius, and Charon won't be able to join you on this journey.
아쉽네요.
That's too bad. It would have been nice if we could all go there together.
항상 이런 식이지.
Just as petty as I expected from the seniors of our family. Would it kill them to house a handful more people in that humongous park of a house? It's not like they noticed the difference.
어머나.
Oh my, how touching.
감동인걸요?
Looks like Miss Jia thinks she'll miss us too. What a thing to say to my face after that shameless backstabbing. I mean, do any of you even comprehend what it means to participate in the family hierarchy war? Do you even understand why we call it a war, when the official name for it is an evaluation? You're risking your lives by getting involved in this. Once you get in there, you'll be stalked at every turn by people looking to kill you, including me. Remember how Wei saved your life back at the fake Kazan? Now imagine the same scenario. Except this time, it could be Wei who's there to kill you.
미리
I must say ahead of time that this is truly a regrettable turn of events. I did not wish to have to fight any of you, but... Wei looked at us with an unfamiliar cold and intense glare.
그건
Well, we feel very much the same way. So it looks like we're on the same page there.
통했네요.
반대로 말해서 너희도 언제든지 나를 찌를 수
That means that I'm also fair game. You could stab me in the back again, literally this time.
아니요.
No, never. I wouldn't even dream of doing something like... Jashichun ignores Sinclair's anxious looks and looks straight towards Honglu.
마음을 바꿀 마지막 기회일 수도 있어.
This could be the last chance to change your mind, brother.
나는
I didn't invite you to join my faction with a light heart.
하물며 가주대전은 그렇게 쉽게 한
Besides, it's the family hierarchy war. This isn't something you can just flippantly decide that you want to participate.
네가 그렇게 살아왔듯이
I know the life you lived.
나 역시도 어렸을
I also
때부터
grew up hearing those countless tales about the family hierarchy war just as you did.
지내면서 살아왔잖니. 그러니
So the weight we're feeling must be the same.
그래. 여리게나마 이어져 왔던
Right, so this is where our tenuous alliance really ends.
뭐 상관없어.
Well, not like I care.
필요에 의한
It did drag on a little too long for a temporary alliance, forged out of convenience.
원래대로
We're just going back to how things used to be, that's all. See you later, Bunny! Thank you for hanging around. Hey, Juan! I'm still on Canto 3, but I want to watch the stream. Oh, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I really want to play through it. I only got Maid Ryoshu, but I already got Bunny. I wanted... Ooh. Maid Ryoshu is really good, too. Hey, Joseph!
그럼 태평이 말이나 섞는 건
And that's fine by me.
여기까지 하도록
I think that's
하자.
enough chit-chat with you then. Okay,
네가
if that's what you
원한다면.
want.
아, 시춘.
Hoshi-chun.
뭐
가문의
What?
사람들에게는
Please don't tell the family that I'll be participating, will you?
하지 말아줄 수 있겠니? 당분간은
I was told to keep this a secret for now.
좋다고 해서 말이야.
이제 와서 그런 부탁을
Tell me
해서
one reason I should do you that favor
내가
now.
그걸 들어줘야 할 이유가 있나?
For someone who supposedly doesn't care, Shichun appeared rather hurt as she took a moment to glare at Honglu, biting her lower lip. Then suddenly strode right up to him.
이게 정말 오빠의
Is this even your
선택이야?
call, brother?
아니면
Or are you just following their
그냥
orders?
저쪽에 시켜서 하는 것뿐이야?
Jia gestured towards the rest of us with her chin. My
내가 가주대전에
my
참가하는
participation in the family
정체가
hierarchy
있을
war
텐데
is already decided.
그걸 궁금해하는 거라면
If you're still curious to know why, then
시춘 너는
Shichun, do you believe that my choices carry any significant meaning?
아,
Oh,
또 그렇게
I see.
나쁘다는 거지.
what's up? This crap again.
가주대전이 어떤
So you already
의미인지
know
알겠어.
that participating in the war means, but you just have no idea why I'd ever ask something like that, huh?
대답은 됐어?
Fine.
더 말.
Looks like I don't even need to hear your reply. There's no point in trying with you anymore.
그런 얄팍한.
At least I'll have fun watching how far you'll get with that shallow, meaningless attitude of yours.
재밌겠다.
Hey, wait. Ja appeared pretty distressed after that exchange, so I was about to say something when Pilot, who had been fiddling with the radio behind Sod, began shouting urgently. The Pelican's been seen coming this way. I'd like to chill a bit today. Yesterday was too rough. Let's head on over so we can at least relax on the way there. Nope, we're taking this one. You never think twice about giving things up to others anyways, do you, brother? What the heck do you mean? Come on! Let's do this fair and square with, like, rock, paper, scissors. Wow, sure. Why not decide the next higher game with a game of rock, paper, scissors too? How's that? Yum yum, thank you for the follow. Joshi Trin give us a wry grin before leaving. Wei followed her wordlessly. Boy, and I thought we were finally making some friends out there. Look over there. There's a group waiting for a pelican. One must be the candidate the client told us about. Everyone, there's a group of hostile-looking people coming our way. Shihua is unlikely to be the only one who's going after the other candidates. Executive Manager, we best take care of them before the next pelican arrives. Yeah, what can we do, right? Well, looks like we're getting to a fight for funsies again. I beat all of part 1. Yeah, I'm doing part 1 right now. We just started. Is it long? I love this music. I'm 55 already, so the first part should be pretty easy. Welcome back, Roa. I'll borrow your IDs. If you guys want to add me too, feel free to. You can borrow my IDs as well if you want them. My Wi-Fi went up in flames? Oh no! What happened? I'm using most of the Canto 7 IDs. It pierced him for 0. Oh, there's more. I'm being attacked by bald people. They're literally all escapologists right now. I can watch again? It's a fight. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's probably gonna spoil for some of you. It's 19 nodes? Ooh, that's a lot. Especially the ones that are a lot of talking. Usually it's like a bunch of talking and then a bunch of like mild stuff. Sometimes it's like 3 or 4 fights in a row like this. It's gonna be long. My team is pretty good though, in terms of bleeding. But I put 2 Gregor there for you? Nice. Well, I thought you could only share 1. I can't bear anymore, going to sleep? Well then, good night! Nice. The way Heathcliff swings a sword is kind of crazy. I love that Yi Sang card. So real, Roa, he's the best. I see we all have like different favorite sinners. No more signs of enemy reinforcements. Executive Manager. At least there's an end to them this time. The guys that attacked us when we first got here were endless. Well, that's because we walked right into a trap then. Shallow, but still. Anyways, Sichun appeared pretty hurt by that, didn't she? Honestly though, I get why she feels so betrayed. I get it too. Remember all those stories about Honglu's family we heard? Imagine you're one of their kids, thinking that you finally found like a potential ally in your family, only for him to pretty much stab you in the back last minute. Yeah, it was really awkward for me too, even though I wasn't exactly involved. Saad chimed in nonchalantly, as though it wasn't her who pulled the plug on our alliance at the last second. Anyways, where's our escort? I can't imagine that H-Corp can't afford to send us guards with the Pelican. If this family loved each other enough to send escorts for their safety, I doubt they'd be holding a cutthroat ceremony like the family hierarchy evaluations. It's a world where might makes right, where the strong prey on the weak. People won't bat an eye even if 1 dozen of the candidates is found dead in some ditch on the road. Oh, sorry Honglu. I must have been running my mouth again without thinking about how that sounds. Someone usually stopped me before I got that far. Don't worry, you didn't say anything wrong. It took me a while to realize that the other families weren't like this, but there's no reason to be upset by the way things are. Did anyone notice Honglu has 2 different colored eyes? I didn't really realize it because he doesn't have a lot of lines, and usually his eyes are closed when he's talking. Hope you enjoyed the new story. The OST for the Scandal is already insanely hard. I know, dude. Welcome in, Radiance. I love the story a lot so far, too. I mean, like, I'm not too far in. This is the first node. But, yeah, let's see. The bell tolls. Huh? She's still talking. Let me in. There we go. Yeah, a lot of it's going to be talking. What's that ominous metallic noise? The tolling of bells. Bells with a resonance unlike that of any other, normally marked by their clarity. This bell is muddled, as if tolls for ill fortune on the horizon. Wow, that bell sure is a resounding reminder that I'm home again. It's the bell that tolls every once in a while. You can hear its resonance from anywhere in Hongryun. It's restructuring day. 在 something I don't know how to read this. But the restructuring day already. She trails off, unable to finish her sentence, as a brutal scene unfolds behind us. Are you guys seeing this? The buildings are all starting to shift. It was as Ishmael said, the buildings all tethered to a complicated network of rails, were either rising from or sinking into the earth. Movement has been observed from every building in the vicinity. Everything is changing. The localized shifting of structures we observed yesterday night were not as sweeping as this. What you saw last night must have been a premonition of the restructuring day, nudging some buildings to their positions for a smoother overall redistribution of space. Now this is the real deal. That whole mess was just a premonition? It's a remnant of an old H-Corp that was here long before the current Hongryun. This structure has been here for a while, so we can't quite know the nature of the purpose of its singularity. But at this moment, they shift based on current H-Corp's restructuring standards. The world's assembly shifts overnight, yet those who toiled and toiled have naught to fear. Is it not joyous to have a place to rest your feet tonight? To those who weren't availed of fortune, this is simply the reality to bear. Only choice is to retreat in silence, to accept your fate as one might. Await the coming month, ponder how one might save their skin. How many shall plummet today, and how many shall remain? Hold on not to all things too tight, for you may lose sight of when to let go, and feign ignorance when you must take flight. The consequence of reassembly for the evicted is an endless plummet. What a terribly distressing sight to behold. Unable to do aught to help.
이것도
Is this another one of H-Corp's idiosyncrasies?
다른 둥지에도
I don't know. Didn't other nests also have their own measures of one's wealth? ST Corp makes use of time as a currency.
맞아요.
Exactly. H-Corp's measure of wealth and currency is based on how much space a person owns, measured by a scale they called rooms.
소유한 건물의 면적이
IDS,
재산의 척도라.
the measure of one's space is a measure of one's wealth. Oh, that's cool. I wish I could go back in time and stop myself from gambling. I spent 18k lunacy on 2 new IDs, and they were only good for mirror dungeons, so I only did something very dumb. It's still nice to have the IDs. I mean, like, I would say mirror dungeons is like what you grind most of the time anyways, so it's nice to have good mirror dungeon IDs still. Hey Moonlit! Only mirror dungeon reflection railway? Yeah. Don't rush stuff. Take things at your own pace.
네.
Exactly. So once every month, the worth of each person's labor and the quantity of their income are measured to determine how much space they are assigned.
잘 살고 있다가
So they can just kick me out of my home for no reason?
거야? 아니 뭔
What the? Just what kind of ridiculous rule is that?
이곳에서 한 번도 나고 자란 적 없는 저희야 그렇게 느끼겠지만
Well, it might appear that way to outsiders like us, but
오래전부터 존재했던
the calculations behind these redistributions are meticulously designed and have been here for a long time.
이곳에 사는
So it
사람들이
seems to me that everyone just accepts them as a natural part of their lives.
그럼 홍루 씨도
Have you seen this in person too, Honglu? The
제자들이라는
restructuring day.
보았죠? 제 방에
I have.
난간에서
Sometimes I like to watch the cityscape from behind the railings of my room.
있으면 아주 멀긴 했지만
It happened far, far away from me, but I could still see it all very well. His expressions remain tranquil as still as he calmly reminisces. It was like then when he was merely watching this featureless scenery passing by.
제가 살았던 대관원은 제적이
My old home was never too concerned about the restructuring
그곳은
days.
방이
We get
늘어나지
more
않자
rooms some days,
줄어들려고
but we never
하는
think.
곳이었거든요.
But we never ever shrink. Oh! That's so cool! So his house is also affected by it, and the reason why it's so big is because they're just filthy stinking rich.
그래서 저는
So I've never been affected by these restructuring days. I've only ever witnessed them as they happen beneath me, high up in my room.
너는
You're
그래.
fine.
너라고
I doubt there was anything you could have done, but
없었겠지만 이런 꼴을 보고
you just sat on your hands and watched all this. Heathcliff trailed off, but I could see that he was gritting his teeth. Another pelican's coming.
당신들을 태울
And there's your ride.
가능성이
I think we've chatted enough, so let's get you guys going. This is a pelican?
그래도
Yep.
여럿이서
Looks like
타고
they
있는
sent us a pelican large enough to comfortably seat a big crowd of people together.
가복 도련님이야.
Young Master Jia Baoyu and his 12 honored guests, is that correct?
13
It's 13 to be exact. But I thought Saab wasn't invited.
잠깐. 소인이 듣기로는
Whoa, hold your horses. I was told that Young Master Baoyu's faction was just 12 people. Upon hearing that, Saab began aggressively striding towards him, causing the pelican bearer to shrink in fear. Whoa, slow down, lady.
12
We are 12 people. What's wrong?
설마 당신이
Don't tell me this thing looks like a normal
이게
contributing member of a
멀쩡한
clan to
사과의
you.
인원으로 보이시나요?
He's talking about me. I gotta go through 90 hours of the mirror dungeon for shards. I'm not pulling them, no way. Yeah, it costs a lot. Eating a sandwich and want a bite? I'm hungry. I'll have some later though. Saw suddenly grabbed my shoulders and presented me before the bearer like I was some product. I mean, that's a pretty unique head that one's got there. Don't think I've seen anything like it around here. But isn't that just prosthetic? In the shape of a clock, I guess? But still.
생각을 좀 해보세요.
I mean, let me ask you something. Can you imagine why anyone in their right minds would stick a clock where their head's gonna go? Even if they're hurting for cash? No way, man. Never. There are more versatile bot modifications about around here in Hongyun than whatever that hack job is. Nobody in their right mind would.
제 말이요.
Exactly, right? No idea what went down. But this fellow here sure seems to have fallen on hard times.
우리가 모르는
Too bad we live in a world where such misfortunes can befall an honest soul like them. Boy, oh boy. Looks like this one's got scammed. a nasty scam
어떤
too.
뒷골목에서 그랬는데
Whatever back streets they got that from
당했어.
must have been a real scoundrel who did it.
더군다나 시간도
And
안
look,
맞고
even the clock isn't on
집에
time.
없어요.
And this poor person is barely
봐요.
conscious.
입이 없어서
Look,
찡그리는
all they could do is make
소리밖에
these weird
나지
ticking noises because they don't even have a mouth. Those are some pretty darn hurtful things to say, but I said not to take them at face value. It was pretty obvious what she was trying to do. Somebody tell Son I'm getting dizzy.
아이고, 정말이네.
Good grief, you weren't
누가
kidding.
이런 전인
Who could have done something so awful?
다행히도
It's a real blessing that young Master Bayou's got such a kind-hearted soul.
다른 동지에게
He simply could not walk past the
시선을
timepiece
차마
emporium,
눈 뜨고 못
selling
볼
this
수도
human
있는
being
거예요.
like they're some toy or tool. So he picked them up to get their head replaced with something proper.
일도 아니거든요.
Hunger's got more than enough resources for something like that, right?
아, 그야 그렇지요. 돈만 넉넉히 있다면
Oh,
전신까지
well,
싹
you're not wrong
다
there.
건 일도 아니니.
It's really easy to swap out your whole body as long as you've got the cash to burn. What? A new head? For me?
그렇죠?
Right? See what I mean? So that's why they told you the young Master Bayou only has 12 people in this faction, including yours truly.
그래 보입니다.
Well, I see your point, but we can't just
고단하시다는 건 우리
let all of us on
다행히도
board.
아직 잘
Yes.
알고 계시죠.
Our young master fully understands the moral conundrum you find yourself in.
선이라도
So we'd like to offer you this tiny, tiny token of appreciation. Saw produced some bills from her pocket and smoothly slid them into the Pelican Bear's own.
에헤이.
Oh man, oh lady, you shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't. Oh, and another thing. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this, but if word of this gets out, things might get pretty messy for both of us. And that doesn't need to have to happen, does it? Indubitably, ma'am. I'm doing this purely out of the goodness of my heart. The radio and waved at us. Don't worry about me, and have a safe trip over there. I got some stuff to handle on the outside. The design is more akin to an extravagant limousine than a pelican.
이 샴페인
Oh look, a bottle of champagne. Can I chug this? Of course not. Drinking while on the mission is...
자,
Okay. With a quick clap, Sod promptly put an end to the hubbub the unexpectedly flashy appearance of the pelican caused. This looks really fancy, dude. My stream is lagging. Oh no! If you gotta sleep, have a great night, Carl. Or Car.
일 얘기하죠. 일
Time to get to work, everyone. We're working on the pelican? It's like a limousine? Yeah, it looks really fancy. I kind of like gaudy stuff like that.
피를 머금을 시간이네. 그리고 그 후엔
Then you'll...
잠깐 밖이
Wait,
소란스럽군.
something's going on outside. Not long after Sod passed over Otis's remark, a grating speaker whine rang out, followed by the worried voices of the bearer on the other end. We're under attack! I thought things were going a little too easy.
아무래도
It's no surprise that the other
여러분을
candidates are
방해하고
trying to
싶은
eliminate
거가
us, just in case.
여러분이겠죠?
Why am I not surprised? Okay, so this is just a fight. It's a car. Nuh-uh. It's more of the bald people. Why is everyone bald? I think I'm gonna buy the second version of the Battle Pass. This special banner looks cool. I thought they gave you the banner too eventually.
창구에 적힌 놈들은 볼 때마다
The banner is Jiaxichun, right?
엄지처럼 엄격한
I mean, like, it's an extra 1300. Carl. This is something worth a watch. I'm glad I got the Virgilius announcer. He was worth it. We got him for free, though. Everyone knows the bald abnormality comes from H-Corp? Wait, is that real? I remember there was a bald abnormality in Labanmi Corp, but I only ever saw it one time. It's supposed to be, like, super rare. It's supposed to be super good and super rare. It, like, makes your worker bald. Everyone knows. No, I made it up. What? No, there. Look it up. It's real. It's real. There is an abnormality in Labanmi Corp that turns your characters bald. It's real. Look it up. You're in H Corp? H does not stand for hair. Hongyun is like a big pharmaceutical manufacturer or something. That's. Are you deaf? Huh? Hi RNA, good afternoon. Oh, you're up really late. Oh, I thought she needed she probably needs a specific amount of her resource. See you later, Tay. Gotta go. Have a good time. See you later.
기억해두겠습니다, 단테.
Let's see.
면담에서 치아할 만한 일이 생겼을 때 언급하라.
오랜 목마름도 어버이를 향한 죄책감도
Okay, another fight over here. It looks like we're just doing fights for the most part, which I'm okay with. Kumo, hi! Yo, Kumo, how have you been? I haven't actually gotten to hang out with you, have I? Let me show you out, actually.
이런 푹신한 날에 피아노를 마실 걸? 그래. 그렇게 시원하게 차오르.
See ya. Ooh. My only level 55 characters is Honglu Full Stop. I really want Honglu Full Stop, but I didn't manage to roll on the last Walpurgis, so I gotta re-get him. I heard the next Walpurgis is supposed to start right after this, right after part 3. So I'm back for a bit, gotta head back to work. Oh, okay, that's okay. Thanks for stopping by, though. Hope you're having a good day so far. And let's hang out sometime. I know I just hosted a big collab yesterday, but it was during this time too, so. Sunny getting cute for no reason? Is Sunny bald?
골치 아픈 것들이 고기 조각이 되었군요, 단테. 나쁘지 않은 성과입니다.
비뚤어져 끓여.
엎드리도록.
It's after Kanto 8, so probably in the next 4 weeks or 5. Yeah, because like this week, next week, and the week after are all Kanto 8. And then there's usually like a 2-week period of nothing. Or like letting people catch up, and then the next event starts. Come to think of it, they haven't laid out their roadmap, have they? Limbus Company. Yeah, they got rid of their roadmap, so it's not out yet, but I think this was the last thing on their last one. Or like the last item on their last roadmap, which was like, what, 6 months ago? Longer than that. They'll share another one soon, probably. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Dang, Painter Yi Sang is like so crazy. Oh, see you later, Roa, if you gotta go. Oh, you're lurking? Yeah, I know a lot of people want... Maybe I should like waited a week to play this, because like, I'm spoiling this for a lot of people who haven't caught up to it yet. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling. My Shayla? Who's Shayla? Petals. Oh, looks like we finally got here. This is A5, so I'm kind of... Oh, I'm kind of making good time. We need to get 19? Entering Dangongyun now. Despite some troubles on the way, it seemed that we managed to arrive at our destination mostly unhurt. Da Guanyun, Honglu's old home. Oof, we're running out of time. Faust, I'm sure you understood the most important part of my plan, right? It is unlikely to be a pleasant sight to behold. Remember, the plan hinges on your patience, everyone. You have to remain calm and wait, even if they freak out and actively try to kill you. There is a chance that they might panic and immediately order for our sinners to be executed on the spot. However, it is unlikely that the person whose responsibility is to judge the next family hierarch of Hongrun will make such a hasty response. Exactly. Everything is going to be fine, as long as the decider has the capacity for patience. Execution? What? Great. I'll follow up with a subsequent contract once you've safely completed the first round of evaluations. After that cryptic exchange with Faust, Saul leaped gracefully off the moving pelican as Heathcliff murmured in his half-sleep. We watched her grow smaller and smaller as the distance between us grew, but what really caught our eyes were the scattered humans that the restructuring day had evicted from their homes. They were trying to drag their broken bodies off the road, sobbing and writhing. This is horrible. There isn't anything we can do to help, but such sense of futility and powerlessness will negatively impact the efficient performance of your professional obligations. Repeated exposure to such stimuli is recommended to desensitize oneself to the situation. Oh, where's Salt? So Honglu, how do you feel about going back home after so long? Sinclair changed the subject. This guy jammed her. Do you think there's going to be a Joshi Join ID? I think there could be. Isn't that... I mean, like, I thought Donkey would be similar to it. It's burning... Hers is burn poise. I think hers would be rupture poise, probably. I'm sleeping. Good night. Good night, monster. Have a good night's sleep. Don't throw up again. 这个是谁啊？早上好，我是 Hikaru. There's gonna be a Faust ID. It looks like Heisho Pack 2. Really? When did they introduce that? This guy won. Unnecessary information. Faust is also the name of tragedy written by Go. Yeah, I think she's based off that. I don't know. Don't even need to ask him, lad. I know it can't be easy. As for me, blimey, I hesitated almost 1,000 times. Wonder if I should just turn around and leave. What if I knocked on those gates, but she... Heathcliff came to a suffocating stop, his voice trembling lightly as he did so. The other sinners stared at him in confused silence. Why'd you stop in the middle of them? Wow, look at these cool windows. I think we could swap them out with other images. I quickly tried to swerve the subject again, but all I got was Ishmael's scolding glare that seemed to wordlessly tell me not the time. I remember. I remember what happened each time one of us returned to the part of the city that held our memories. Memories of happiness, anger, sorrow, and joy. And as we traveled, I remember that they were looking at sceneries only they could see. Rhodia, you awkwardly tried your best to crack jokes. Sinclair, you tried your best to hold back the welling tears again and again. Yi sang, you shut your eyes for a long, long time. Ishmael, you couldn't stop talking to yourself while glaring down at the lake's surface. And Heathcliff, I saw you scared and anxious, shaping your hair over and over again. You really have been watching us closely, huh? Spring leaves, petals scatter, and all shall turn around to find the doors to which they belonged and return it forevermore. I think everyone has a small mound of petals they gathered for themselves. What? I don't. Why would anyone collect something like that? Then you simply haven't discarded them yet. There was still a transparent smile on his face, but I think I saw a burying, sinking shadow behind it. The moment I felt that, a familiar light came into view, and I immediately understood what was going on. The golden bow is close, and is resonating with Honglu's fathoms. This story. They watched the flower burial of mine in Makwe. Who lays me to rest once I die? When spring passes, youth passes, as wrinkles shear it all away. Flowers pass, people pass, and ignorant they remain to where they hide. He? Why do you always recite these strange, complicated poems, Dayu? There are plenty of ways to remain young, aren't there? Because we don't need to see the snow in our hair to know that spring will pass. Why are you cleaning up those fallen petals? Just float them away downstream. You'll get dirt on your hands. And be so wasteful? How will we hear the sound of falling rain once we sweep all the petals away? This is a remembrance. Remembrance on a rainy day. So I'm gonna treasure it. Besides, these beautiful blossoms will get so dirty in the stream if we let them flow away. So please, don't scatter all the petals from your embrace. Big bro Baoyu. Honglu, is there anyone you miss here?
네.
No,
없네요.
there isn't.
어떻게 그럴 수가 있어요? 가족들이랑
But how's that possible? Isn't your family there?
소중한
And a bunch
사람들이
of people who are so important to
왔을
you?
텐데요.
글쎄요.
Well,
잘 지내고
as long as I
있다고
believe them to be
본다면
doing well,
구태여 그리운 마음
there isn't need
가질
for me to yearn to see them again.
없으니까요.
Do you still treasure your petals?
아니요.
Nope.
출가하면서
I scattered them all
뿌리고
that day.
왔답니다.
I departed my home.
그래서 이젠 비
So
오는
my rainy
날에는
days are now silent.
아무
I see.
보신 거죠? 단테님,
You saw that, didn't you, Dante?
제 기억을
You saw my memory. I did. Honglu laughed. He wasn't surprised or angry that I peered into his memories.
저
Uh,
홍루 씨의 부모님은 어떤 분이세요? 아니면 그
hey Rosie,
좀
how's it going?
어떠셨던
I sent it in the PM channel. Oh, I'll take a look. I need a nickname for you. Probably be the owner of the Typos Club. Do you want to tell us about your parents? Or, yeah, you talked about your grandmother pretty often, right? What kind of people are they? Sinclair added carefully. Maybe he was trying to commiserate, tenuous as that connection might have been. We were headed to his home to meet his family anyways.
두분 다 이치에 밝으셔야
They're both very wise in the ways of the world.
할머니는
Grandmother
항상
always
그렇게
treated me
해주시고요.
preciously.
어머니도
So did my
아버지도.
mother and my father.
아, 거의
And
다 도착했나 봐요.
We're almost there.
정원이
I can see the garden. This is one massive garden.
본가 안으로 들어가려면
We still have some time before we
아직
get to the
조금
main
남았어요.
buildings.
옛날엔 정원에서
I remember the days when
사슴과
deer and
토끼들도
hares would
놀았거든요.
frolic out here in the garden.
이거
Well,
산책하려면
I could see
하루
myself
종일
taking a
걸릴 수
long walk around
있겠는데요.
here. It'd take a whole day and then some to cover the entire ground.
주로 저는
I usually
제가
lingered
생각한
around my own
주위에서만
route.
다녔어요.
It's dangerous to stray too far
여러모로
after all.
위험하니까요.
It's dangerous? Why?
잘못된 길을 걷다가
There's the stranger danger, getting lost, getting targeted. Besides, it's very dark at night. Well, that ain't a very big deal, is it? Kids run around, scrape their faces on the branches, trip and eat poop on the pavement all the time.
히스클리프시라면 자유롭게 달리셨을 것 같아요.
I'm sure that you could run around freely
그래도
around the
항상
garden,
조심하는
Heathcliff.
편이 좋아요.
But it's important to always be careful.
제가 5살 때는
When I was 5, someone had laid a deadly poison on a random tree branch.
독을?
Poison?
히스클리프시처럼
I had a little brother who liked to frolic like you do, Heathcliff.
우연인지 딱
But by
그
some
위에
coincidence,
나뭇가지에
he happened to be running around the same tree that had its branches lathered with poison.
어떻게 되었는가?
What hath transpired after?
괜찮아졌을 거예요.
I'm sure he got better.
수빈이 백반만 자고
Shiren told me that
괜찮아질 거라고
he'll be
했거든요.
fine. He'll be just fine after 100 nights rest.
수빈은 언제나 똑똑했어요.
And because Shiren was always so smart, I'm sure it happened exactly as she said. Aw. That's they eat poop. They eat dirt is like the expression usually.
대화청 입성이요.
다화팅 Grand Flower Hall. It wasn't long before our arrival to the new place with Dagonryun was also made by the Pelican Bear's sonorous announcement. More buildings?
대화청은 또 뭐야?
Where's Dahuating mean anyways?
쉽게 말하면
Grand Flower Hall. So I think you could call it a place for banquets? Oh, so you host banquets in this village-sized venue?
저기
Is
보이는
that a
건-
lake over there?
그건 연못이랍니다.
Nope, it's a pond.
연못.
A pond?
도착하면
Once we
저랑
arrive, we will find ourselves a
시주민으로
welcoming
자리가
party for
마련되어
Shichun and me.
있을 거예요. 아,
Rhodia,
로디
would you be
씨도
able to
오랜만에
stuff yourself
잘
to your
배부르게
heart's
드실 수
content this
있겠네요.
time? It's been a while, hasn't it?
도착하기 전부터 이렇게 설렌 적은
I don't think I've been this excited in a long time.
저건 배인가요? 배를
Whoa.
저렇게 둔 거예요?
Is that a ship over there? You have a ship?
아,
Yep, sometimes we go out boating.
놀이를 나가기도 했거든요.
Dang, these guys are like filthy rich.
아, 그리고
Oh, and Shichun's building is right across that pond. You each get a building of your own?
네. 그래서 처음 호원을
Yes, we do.
떠났을 때
So when I first departed from Horn, I found the concept of an entire family living under the same roof so fascinating.
이래서는 가족끼리 얼굴 한번 보기도
Alas, it would be quite the challenge for thy family to see one another.
그러기 위해서 따로
And that's exactly why we each get a building. Are we even talking about the same thing here?
제대로 이어지는 거 맞아요?
이럴 거면
Lack for woe, we could have
처음부터
merrily enjoyed our vacations at young Honglu's residence all along.
그건 곤란해요, 동생
That
아저씨.
wouldn't have worked, Don
출가할
Quixote.
때 할머니와
When I left home,
어머니께서
grandmother and the elders really impressed upon me that
때가 되면
the footsteps shall
자연스럽게
eventually
그걸로
bring
돌아올 것이니
you home when the time is right.
그전까지는
Thus witness and only witness as much of the world as you may before you make your return.
언제 오려나 했는데
I was wondering when that would be, but time really slipped through our fingers. And just like that, it brought me here. Most sinners did not welcome their return. Some of them were even terrified of it. Sometimes they had to confront what they had been avoiding all their lives. And for some important things that were once forgotten or lost were waiting for their return. But their reluctance is really not surprising at all. I don't think I'd welcome an opportunity to get my memories back with open arms if it was thrust upon me out of nowhere, especially if it was getting dragged there against my will. But despite the fact that it couldn't be more obvious that his turn had arrived, Hung Lu was as tranquil as he always was. He'd always been able to remain aloof no matter what happens. Maybe it won't be different this time either. But even so, can I judge it that so hastily?
아씨 보크라님 행차시오.
Hey there, Hikaru. Hey, Noctis. Welcome in. Young Master Value of the Jia family has returned. Again, with the Pelican Bear's deep, full-throated pronouncement of our arrival, the door
자,
opened.
필요하실 텐데
Here we
어서
are.
들어오세요.
You must be so tired. Come in, come in. Leaving behind the sinners who were still reeling from the atmospheric level of opulence at display, Honglu bounced lightly off the Pelican and moseyed into the building.
그거 참 설레는.
Quite the light-footed steps he takes, unhindered by excitement nor trepidation. Right?
좋은 집에만
Rich boy's got nothing to fear because he's used to this kind of poshness. That's all this is.
그래도
Verily, this may be a subtle expression of that teensy part of him that longed to see his family again. Once we all left the Pelican,
모든 것이 상당히.
I find myself beset by an overwhelming vastness and objects of great magnitude.
하인들도 대체
Just how many servants do they have?
아, 술
Grandmother
시간이면
will visit
할머니가 방문하신다네요.
once Shu hour arrives.
연애는
The
그때
banquet
시작될
will
것 같아요.
start then, I think. Can Langbao say something like in Mimi's voice? Mimi should say. Shu hour.
수시는 19시부터 21시
Shu hour refers to the time between 19 and 21. This is a unique time system used in certain regions of the East. In addition, it would be best to remember that Honglu's grandmother, Jiamu, is the hierarch of Dongguanren. It would not be the incorrect assessment to see her as the ruler of Hongyun. Your relative is the head of a wing, I see.
네.
Yes.
그리고 다음
Though she'll be handing that
가족을 넘겨주시면
over to the next heir pretty soon.
이제 와서 가주의 자리를 넘기는
Why now?
뭐지?
Why does she seek to achieve by abdicating it at this precise time? Otis, as she probably saw an ulterior motive behind every move, inquired.
언제나 때가 올 거라고
She's been saying that her time would eventually come, that she's carried this responsibility for too long.
갑자기 나타나서
I bet she'd be pretty shocked to hear that you'll be taking part of the family hierarch war. Huh, I don't know about that.
어쩌면
Maybe she'll take it well.
당연하실지도 모르겠어요. 구태여 나갈 이유는 없지만
There's never been a reason for me to
나가지
bother
않을 이유도
participating,
없었으니까요.
but there wasn't a reason for me not to either.
저쪽에
Hey, there's Shichun and Wei over there.
계세요.
Looks like they both arrived safely. Just Shichun arrived before us, shot us the briefest glance, before looking away with exaggerated disinterest.
방금 시추님이
Can't get your
저희를
Twitch account
보자마자
verified.
고개를
I'll see you later, Juan. Bye bye. Thanks for sticking around. I'm gonna smile at my temples later. Ah? Well, that didn't take long for things to become super awkward. To be fair, it was kind of our fault, you know? I get why she's pissed at us. And it's not her fault. 미미 씨가 마와. Meow. We must capture this opportunity to see ourselves adjacent to Yang Shichun. Too late. We're forever banned from getting anywhere near her. Yet, wherefore? We are no longer Jia Shichun's faction. Her hostility is to be expected.
분위기가 바뀌었다.
Things have changed.
이쪽과 저쪽.
Us versus them. In group versus out group.
전장은
Deception and treachery are natural
언제나
powers of war.
우리약과 오늘의 아군은 내일의
An ally of
적들이기도
today may as well become an enemy tomorrow.
친구가 없다는 말을 이렇게 또
And that's a
들어서
funny way to say I don't have any friends.
방금 뭐
What did you just?
부모님이 저기 계시네요.
There are my parents.
갑자기 바로
Hold on, we're walking right up to them?
이름도 모르는
At least tell us their names.
아, 아버지 조남은
My father is
가시
Song from the
그리고
Jia family.
어머니는 대관원에서
And down it they call my mother Lady Wang.
왕십니다. 출가 이후
I
처음
greet you for the
인사올립니다.
first time since my departure.
가시 보
Bao Yu of the Jia family has returned home.
벌써 왔느냐?
You're early.
보가 이게
Dear Bao
몇
Yu,
년
it's been
만인데.
too many years. Hi, Ghost of the Sea. 早上好. Did you just flip and meow? No, I didn't.
오랜만에 얼굴을 보니
I hit max resonance in Garden of the Thorns.
반갑게
Gardens of the Thorns is orange, right? I don't think it's that hard to do. If you run like a full bleed comp, I think Garden of the Thorns you can do it. That's Gregor's, right? And it's Lust, I'm pretty sure. To see you again for so long, it's just so good to see your face. Oh, I don't even know what I should even say. The father, Jiazong's eyes dart nervously between us and Honglu. Meanwhile, his mother gingerly brings him in for a careful embrace, as though she was in the presence of something so utterly deeply moving. It is more than the pure joy of reunion. So they're Honglu's parents.
극진히 환영해 주시니
Thank you so
감사해요.
much for your hospitality. You have certainly spared no expenses.
그런데 같이 온 분들은
So who are these people you've come here with?
대단한 숫자는
Well,
아니지만
while there aren't too many of them,
제
they are my
친구들과
friends I made out in the world.
부하라고 소개하던 누구보단
At least he's not introducing us as his lackeys like a certain someone I know.
그거
I remember that. Honglu's mother slowly turns around to look at us. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but somehow it almost feels like she was looking down at each of us one by one.
반가워요.
I'm so glad to meet you all. Bao Yu's always been such a stubborn child. I'm sure he was quite the handful to accompany you on your journeys. I hope you can all still embrace him despite every...
고집이요? 홍로 씨가요?
Stubborn? Honglu? Whatever it was she said, they don't seem too happy at all to hear that.
보가
Dear Bao Yu,
왜 친구분들이 너를 그런 이름으로 부르게 두는 거니?
why do you allow
성님께서
your friends to
정수해
call
주신
you by that
너의
name?
고귀한 이름을 두고
What of your noble, blessed name bestowed upon you by the Revered Shinran, our elders?
뭐야? 왜 갑자기?
What's going on with her? Honglu reached out and gently yet indifferently held his mother's violently trembling hands.
당연하잖아요, 어머니.
Of course I would, mother,
그
because the name is too noble indeed. Yes, it is not a name that any rabble should heedlessly speak. Of course, of course.
이쪽도 원래 이름이란 게 있었어?
Do you also have an old name and a new name? She's too strict? I don't know. She seems really nice and loving. I haven't really gotten anything from her just yet.
그거 있잖아.
Well, don't you remember? Back in
뭐
P Corp,
부모님이
we
너
called
불렀었던
Honglu
거 기억 안 나?
Young Master Baoyu.
지난번 후문에서 별투할
Also, I remember how he announced himself before that duel on the day we arrived at H Corp. He introduced himself as Baoyu of the Jia family. I thought it was a pseudonym back then, though, given the circumstances.
뭐
Well,
우리랑 다르게
it ain't like us calling your real name's gonna cheapen its nobility or whatever. It's just a name. You can say it as many times as you want, and it won't depreciate in whatever value it has. Oh, but some people do actually believe that it does, I suppose.
그 이름을
It was wise of you to refrain using that name.
잘했구나.
그래, 그래.
Right. To let your precious name be known amongst the plebeian populace is to encourage knives in the dark to strike. Even here, too.
이곳에서도
모친의 말씀대로 홍루 씨의 본
It is as your mother says. Were your true name to be made known, any individual with a passing connection to H Corp would have easily connected you to Hongyun.
대부분의 이름에는
It is said that the most names are repositories of their keeper's origins.
가령 동부에서는
In the eastern regions of the city,
이름을 지을
when the
때
parents name their children, they imbue them with meaning. It carries their wish for their children's place and use in the world. Seeing how she looks down on the sinners, she's like the, what do you call them? Like the super rich Asian moms? These are streaming? I did not know that.
내놈.
You, what's your name then? Mean.
제 이름은
My name.
부모님
My name is a culmination of wishes,
많은 분의 소망
not only those of my parents, but those of many, many more.
태어날 때부터
It means that I was born with a precious jade.
과부.
Jia Baoyu.
끔찍하군.
Honglu's
공로가
better.
낫겠어. 조용히 말하세요.
At least try to whisper.
나도 부르던 대로
I'll call the rich
부른다.
boy however I want to. If I'm ever forced to call him Young Master Baoyu or whatever,
이름으로 불러대야 한다면
I'd rather take a punch or two from the guide. I could feel the horrid gaze of the servants staring at us. I don't mind, so please continue to call me Honglu if you want.
귀빈들께서는 자리에 앉아
Please seat yourselves, honored guests. The food will be served soon. Oh, what's all this? Do they actually expect us to eat all of this? I don't think I've ever been intimidated by food before. There was quite literally a mountain of dishes on the table. I was starting to wonder if the purpose of these dishes was more to flaunt their wealth than to feed us a reasonable amount of food.
이거 말이야.
What a feast! I could ask for refills, right? Where did she put it all? Anyways, what's up with those empty seats over there? Are we still killing time for some guests to arrive?
그건 아닐 것 같아요.
I don't think so. They're probably seats for an older sibling somewhere in
이 대관
Dongguan
건물에 있는
They probably just don't want to attend.
오늘은 저를 환영하기
This is a
위해
banquet
만든
welcome
자리니까요.
to welcome me, after all.
있어봤자
I'm sure they'll believe it's a waste of time to attend. Man, they better be on some really busy schedules to miss this.
가목께서 당도하셨나이다.
Jiamu venerated be her presence graces us.
가모께서 당도하셨나이다.
This is kind of like, I've watched my parents watch Chinese dramas, and they do that. There's a reason why he's precious jade. With the announcement, utter silence quickly devoured the busy hubbub of the banquet. Those who were sitting quickly rose to their feet and bowed, while those who were standing knelt down on all fours, their backs bent so low that their foreheads were nearly touching the floor. And the woman walking out from between them, the crowd itself parting down the middle from her sheer presence.
아, 할머니가 오셨네요.
Oh, there's grandmother. Was Honglu's grandmother, the family hierarch of H Corp and its chief executive director. Jiamu's presence was at once warm, gentle, yet immense and overwhelming, like a personification of an insurmountable mountain.
가모님을 뵙습니다.
We are graced by your presence.
가모님을 뵙습니다.
We are graced by your presence, Venerable Jiamu.
뭐야? 우리도 숙여야.
Should we bow too? I don't think you could bow any lower with your face halfway in the bowl. So you should be fine, probably. She's surrounded by Heisho, too. Guys, everything's gonna be fine as long as we don't do anything stupid. As everyone was bowing before Jiamu, awed and humbled, only Honglu looked straight at Jiamu without bowing. Then he got up from his seat and walked towards her.
할머니, 오랜만에 인사드려요.
It's been a while, grandmother.
보옥도련님, 가까이 올라오시지.
Please descend, young Master Baoyu. It seemed that a special permission was needed to even stand next to her, as Honglu was allowed to approach her only after the servant gave him the go-ahead.
보가
Little Bao Yu,
얼마나 고단하고
you must have walked
여의치
and
않은
toiled
여정이었느냐.
tirelessly on your journey home.
그렇지 않아요, 할머니.
Not at all, grandmother.
함께
I was able to learn
했던
so many new
친절히
things,
대해주신
thanks to
덕에
everyone who treated me
새로운
so
걸 많이
nicely.
배울 수 있어요.
배움을 통달하고자
Had you sought to
했다면
master the art of
어떤
learning,
학문이든
no,
다 빼어난
master,
선생을 모시고
regardless of
불방에
pursuit,
앉혀놓을 수도 있었겠지만
would have been out of your reach. You could have learned much in the halls of iridation from them.
글방에 앉아
I had to reread that.
학문에 능통해졌다 하더라도 그저 그뿐일 뿐.
Yet the world taught from sheets of paper are simply that, words on paper.
우리는
We wish that you, dear Baoyu,
세상
would learn
물정에
more from the secular
능통해지고
world,
세월을
to not
허투루 보내지
let
않길
flow
바란다.
betwixt your fingers the time that is given to you.
네.
I know this opportunity was more than what I deserved, grandmother.
그래도
I appreciate your return all the same, that you have deigned to return before me, ere my abdication of the great responsibility.
아무래도 홍루건이 림버스 컴퍼니에 합류한 것은 일종의 그란 트리스머였던 모양이군.
I'm not even gonna read that.
그란 트리스머? 그게 뭔데?
Gran Turismo?
너희 둘 다 주둥이에 집어넣은 것 좀 삼키고 말할 수는 없나?
Can the two of you stop babbling with your mouths full? Young master of families most eminent are oft sent to the world on grand tour. Thus coined was the practice Gran Turismo. Okay.
책으로는 배울 수 없는
The purpose is to learn the varied experiences that cannot be gained from books, to grow familiar with the outside world.
저기 있는 시춘이와는
I hear that you have
이미
met
한
with
번
Shichun
인사를 나누었다지?
in the world not long ago.
그럼요.
I have.
유명한 아이야.
A bright child she is. Well prepared to take on the challenges of the family hierarchy evaluations, I presume.
맞아요.
I agree.
시춘이라면
I'm sure Shichun will
영원하게
wisely
잘
overcome the
되겠죠.
trials.
그래.
Indeed.
어르신들께
Have you paid visit to the revered elders then?
인사를
I will soon.
왕부인도
Lady
이곳으로
Wang,
올라오거라.
ascend here as well.
송구합니다, 가문님.
With your mercy, Jamu, of course. Honglu's mother hurried to where Jamu stood.
하나뿐인 아들이 출가해
It must cause your heart
가문을
great
떠돌고
distress
있으니
to have one of your
마음이 편치 않을
one
것이다.
and only sons depart his home, to wander the world before the hedges, beyond the hedges.
아닙니다, 가문님.
Of course not, Jamu.
저는
I'm simply so glad that my son
이렇게
has returned as a man who could now more than carry his own weight, and unharmed too.
그것만으로도 더 이상 바랄 게 없습니다. 그러니
Thus, dear Baoyu,
재촉할 생각은
I do not
없지만
mean to rush, but when are you planning to depart again?
출가 날짜는 언제니?
Kanto endings are getting better and better, so I can't imagine the ending of Kanto 8. Yeah, they are getting like... Honestly, after 4, it got so crazy. 5 was kind of a... but 6, 7 were so good. Like, I don't know. 4 is like special place in my heart. 3 was kind of like... also. I don't know how to put it. His mother wants the poor people gone. I read this as like her mother or his mother is just worried about him being like assassinated while he's home. So he wants him to like leave so he can protect himself. That's what I'm reading out of this.
아직 정해진 건 없어요.
Nothing has been decided yet, mother. I see.
그렇구나.
I'm simply concerned that were you stay here
나는
prolonged,
그저
perhaps you might
이곳에
fade
계속
before your duties are
머물렀다가는
completed.
네
Yeah.
소임을 다하지 못하고 저물까
That's
봐
what I'm reading out of her.
염려스럽단다. 어서 소임을 다하고
Sorry,
돌아와야
bro.
가모님께서 맺어주신
When is
그
the song
약속도
stream?
지키지 않겠니?
Oh, right. That was supposed to be yesterday, but I ended up not doing it. So we'll have to move it to some other day. I'm sorry. I know I got it from Reg, but we'll have to do like maybe next week Thursday. And I also have a sponsorship stream that I'm behind on too. I have to do that for 2 hours one of these days. I'll do it. She looks disgusted. I think she just looks worried or sad. I can't really tell. Complete your duties and return soon, so that the agreement Jamu has so graciously made for us is fulfilled.
그래. 잃지도
Indeed.
말고
Lose not, forget not. You are our family's one and only jade.
우리의 둘도
Dear
없는
Baoyu,
진귀한
our peerless
고.
treasure, tarry not
세상에
overlong in this
남아있지
mundane
말고.
world.
때가 되면 다시 떠나 그 가치를 다하거라.
Leave when the time is right and fulfill your worth.
그럴게요.
Okay, grandmother.
할머니.
Mother.
어머.
What does that mean? That's really archaic. Based on how PM stories write stories. Yeah, sometimes they flip it. they tend to flip people's personalities really hard. But I'm not getting that at first. Like Ahab, you got me the first time. But maybe not this one. 去睡觉好晚安 Good night, monster. Make sure to get some rest. Hopefully you're not sick in the morning. I thought the sinners were doomed to chew uncomfortably through this incredibly awkward meal, but Jamu and her retinue of Heisho left the banquet hall quite promptly after that exchange. It was as though they had no more reason to remain here. It's odd, when they should inquire Honglu of his departure plans on the very welcoming of his return. Right? One moment it appears like they really care about him, then. The appearance of that care for one's own child was also quite distinct and unusual compared to the typical display of emotional intimacy expressed in average household. Hey, Baoyu. That's when an unfamiliar chipper voice hopped jovially into our conversation. Why didn't you come to see me first? I've been staying in the same building ever since you departed here, you know. Xue Baocai. Baocai. What? What is her name?
보차 누나구나.
Baocai, it's been so long. Baocai means like steamed vegetables?
여기까지 와서 자리를 채워준
He's so fun.
거구나.
I love Honglu. He's probably my favorite character. You've come all the way to my welcome banquet to fill a seat? I appreciate that. Had I known that you'd been coming home today, Baoyu, I would have summoned everyone I could from the Shu family to see you. Big bro Pan's really been itching to see how you've been doing. Yeah, I'm sure he was. Shichuan, who had been sitting in complete silence for the entire banquet, muttered quietly to herself. Who else would you have greeted since you arrived today, Baoyu?
부모님과 가모님께
My parents and Jamu.
누나들이
Really? So I'm your first then? She made a cheerful remark before leaning close up to his eye. Your jade is always so glimmering and pristine, Baoyu. Look, I made myself a necklace in the same color as your eye, and wore it every single day to constantly remind myself of you. Well, do you see it?
그렇구나.
Oh, you have! Thank you for remembering me.
고마워.
So, are you going to introduce her to us, or... Hey, why couldn't you just let this night reunion play out, man? Rodeo stepped forward, unable to stand the curiosity. Oh,
여기는 말이죠?
she's... Hi, I'm Baocai. Baocai the Shifeng family. I have a very profound relationship with your Baoyu here. A very profound relationship. He's my betrothed, and I to him. I'd say that's pretty profound, right? He's engaged?
그렇게 놀라실 일도 아니랍니다. 어르신들이
It's nothing to be surprised about. These profound relationships can be established effortlessly in the simple exchange of agreements between our elders. You could have given us a hint. But I won't be married until I leave Limbus Company, though.
그러니 굳이
I just thought it wasn't really relevant enough to share. Sorry about overhearing earlier. But you guys are Baoyu's friends, right? I've been so curious to hear what kind of life Baoyu lived out there. Care to share some tales of your journeys with me? Don't have stories for kids. Shoot. What? But I love stories about bloodshed. Oh.
보차 누나의 취미
One of
중
Big
하나가
Sister's Bachi's pastimes was curating creepy stories of urban legends. Then maybe I'll share some. I love that about Ryoshu. What about everyone else? I love adventure stories. This is Donkey's cue. Be careful what you wish for. There she is. I beseech thee, find a seat. If you're finished with your meals, why don't you all go back to our residences? You're so angry again, Shi-Twin. Last I heard, you lost so much of your followers in a large battle. Didn't you? I'm so sorry. I used more than 3 handkerchiefs wiping my tears away upon hearing that news. No way! Is this how, like... Is this a rich person diss?
벌써 설씨가의 귀에도 들어갔.
So the Shue family's heard of it too, right?
맞아?
You're not wrong, but it's irrelevant to what I've brought to the family heart war. Always a big fan of your confidence, Shi-Twin. It's a good look, you know?
그리고
Oh, that reminds me. You better watch your back, Big Sis Bao Chai. Looks like Big Brother Bao Yu's learned how to sink a knife into your back with that same carefree smile.
갑자기 뒤통수 치는 게 재주가 되었다.
What does she mean by you knifing people in the back? I just had a small falling out with Shi-Twin. That's all. Aha, Shi-Twin must be trying to get you on her side, huh? Dude, I feel so bad for Shi-Twin. If she ends up dying, I'm gonna cry. She's had it rough. 3 handkerchiefs? Bro, wasn't even worth my second handkerchief. She seems like gonna die. Yeah, she's mad, but she's like justifiably mad. He participated in the slaying of the pale whale. Imagine somebody casually spouts this. Yeah, the pallid whale is... That was kind of a big deal. It just kind of worked out that way. I can't believe we didn't get a bounty for that or something. Steamed vegetables? What does steamed vegetables mean again? It's just the way you cook them. The story seems so fun though. Yeah, it just kind of worked out that way. I guess he can't be irritating like that, huh? Some people, though rare, are indeed like that. Oh, that reminds me. Did you by any chance run into the Big Brother Chu? I haven't, but they have. That's good. She placed her hand over her chest, though she just survived an incredibly dangerous accident, before eyeing us anxiously. So, what happened? I do know that he was trying to ally with Shi Yuhua. I mean, it didn't seem like anyone else was viewing that as an alliance, other than Shi Yuhua himself, but... It must have been pretty open secret amongst the canvas that Jiao Chu was trying to ally with Shi Yuhua. They cut Big Brother Yuhua's head off when he was with us. Oh my! Horizontally or vertically? H. So this is his 3rd time, huh? Yihua's really incorrigible. He never knows when to zip it and sit down. Casually cutting off someone's head is like... Yeah. I mean, like, he had it coming, but... Well, Big Brother Chu, I had a feeling he'd be here when the family hierarchy war begins. Everyone in Daguanyuan heard that creepy song from the Backstreets, you know? Gosh, things go so awkward and hostile here at Dongren every time there's any mention of him. Well, I guess it's fortunate that he won't be coming after me once the competition begins. Oh, and why is that? Because I'm simply too charming and adorable to kill outright, of course. Besides, whatever Big Brother Chu's goals are, they probably have nothing to do with the Shue family. I can see that. Balzai took a step towards Honglu and leaned in close to his face. Do you smell fragrance still, Bao Yu? You have never reeked, big sister Balzai. Ooh, I missed that line. I've always been and will always be resigning. Hongwoo-rin promised to pay me a visit before you leave. Well, how about we start heading back? This place can get pretty dark around high hour. You? Why'd you leave? It's nothing. She's just a big sister. I used to play with when I was a child. One of the very few in Dongryeo who was nice to me. So, where should we head to next? Good question. Just going by the scale of everything in here, it should be safe to expect something really ritzy, right? You're my guest, so you should be able to stay at my building within Dongguan. It's within walking distance from here. We should be there in no time, even on foot. This place is kind of neat. So even if I close the game mid-story, it will point at where I exit the game, right? If you pause mid-story, you probably have to go back to it. But it'll let you go back in here. Yi Hongyun. Okay. You can skip it and just reread it. Yes, you can go back into the story if you missed something. Did I get a new? Oh right, I did get a new ID for.
이거 참 설레는
I do have to
일이야.
run a warp comp. I might just max level.
자, 여기랍니다.
Ta-da! Here we are.
가깝다고 한 것
That was a
치곤
pretty long
꽤
walk.
걸었네.
Still technically within walking distance, but
이 홍원이라고
this place is-
부른답니다.
Yihongren, Joyous Red Court.
홍원에서 제일 향긋한
This room was
감각으로
made from the
만든
most
방이어서
aromatic flower
숨을
tree
크게
within H
들이쉬는
Court.
말이죠.
Try taking a deep breath in. You could smell the lovely fragrance of
꽃내음이
flower
꽃꽃을
aroma,
타고 퍼져요.
pervading, spreading from the very tip of your nose. It's unique to this building.
과히 그렇구려.
Very much
보이지도
so.
않는 것이
It's an
제법
unseen and invisible
향기로서.
thing, yet it retains much of its pleasant redolence. This place is huge too. You've been living here all alone all along? Yes.
더 넓은 방에서
I was told to
지내라고
stay in a
하셨지만
larger room, but I preferred
여기가
this place
마음에
more.
들어서요.
도련님, 오랜만에 인사드립니다.
It's been so long. It's been long, young master. Shirin reporting. Oh hey, is she? Have you been well, Shirin?
네,
Yes,
평소와
I am
같습니다.
as I've always been. Shirin watched us emotionlessly as our rowdy crowd poured into the yard. Her expressions did not change even when she saw Honglu, who presumably hadn't been home in quite some time.
이분들은 도련님의 손님이신가요?
Are they young master's guests?
방을
I will guide them to their
안내해드리겠습니다.
room. Please follow me.
저는 따로 방문할 때가 있어서
Now that we're here, I've got to pay a visit somewhere. I'll be back soon enough though.
어디를 가시는 겐가?
To where wilt thou journey? Allow us to accompany thee. It's okay. Just on my way to say hello and pay my respects to the elders. So it'll be better if I go there alone.
자, 이쪽으로.
This way.
어느
Well, I guess I could say
직종이나
this about
그렇지만
every operation, but
이렇게 현장까지
the weight
직접
of our
와서야
mission doesn't really
겨우
sink in until we're
실감이 나네요.
actually there.
가주 대전
You're talking about the family hierarchy,
말씀인
right?
거죠?
다른 후보들은
Yeah. The other candidates have been
하나만을
preparing this for
위해
years.
연년을
Well, we
준비해왔다고
have,
할까요?
what, an overnight?
나는 벼락치기 타입이어서 그런가?
I don't know. I'm procrastinating until the last minute kind of gal. So I'm pretty sure we got a handle on this. You don't need... Yeah. It kind of sounds like decapitation is usual for him. Honestly, I didn't like him very much, so I'm okay with him getting decapitated.
보조리한
This is
상황에서
not the
모든
first instance in which we are demanded to work through a task in an unfavorable, inequitable situation.
상관없지 않겠나.
Why does it matter? Our goal isn't to claim the throne, anyways.
천만 다행이지
Well,
않겠어요?
isn't it such a relief that our goal
그래도
isn't to come first
저희의
place in the
목표가
family
다
hierarchy?
1등을 할 필요가 없다는 말인 겐가?
당연하죠.
Yeah, obviously. Why would we want a sinner to become the head of H Corp?
외부인을 앉히는
Would it not
것보다는
provide a much more
회사
reliable
소속
means of
인물을
control
날개에
to
대표로
plan an
앉혔을
individual
때
of this company
안정적으로
at the
조종할 수
highest
있지
seat of a
않나.
wing instead of letting an unaffiliated individual assume it?
일이 그렇게 간단하게
There's a lot more going
들어가지
behind
않죠.
the scenes, guys.
그리고
Besides, LCB still has much left to do at
해야 하는
LCB.
일이 아니-
그러면
Then,
뭐
would I be right to assume that this isn't a winner-take-all kind of situation here? Do other candidates get something for participating too?
가주 심사에서 10등 안에
Anyone who
들어온
places within the top 10 will gain the right to take one item of their choice from the family treasury, of course.
포상을 받고
The one who places the highest goes first.
하지만 2등 안에는
But we're going to have to come in at
안전하게
least second
저희가
place
원하는
in order to
물건을
ensure that we
확보할 수
obtain the
있을
item we're
거라는
looking
결론을
for.
냈습니다.
아,
Now
괜히
that's
기분
weirdly
잡치네.
insulting. Sod it.
아까지
Why don't we just shoot for the top
이거?
anyways?
못 보던
Your
사이에
confidence seems to have gone through the
생각에
roof since our last
엉망이
operation
되셨군요.
together.
뭐
Well, we did go through a lot of crazy stuff.
그리고
Anyways, care to guess what's deep inside Honger's gargantuan treasury?
황금가지요.
The golden bow.
네?
Yeah. Right on. Buried in the middle of all kinds of their other treasures, along with any knowledge of its true value.
그래서
So, why did Manager Shaw send
아까 소드가
share
말한
you
일조선의
as
작전이란
our
건
strategy
뭐지?
for the first round?
그러고 보니
I very
태양에게
much wish to know
너의
that as
뜻이
well,
이해했냐고
for the suggestion of mutual understanding seemed to exist exclusively between Smith Faust and Sod.
가주 심사 1차전의 내용은
The first round of the family hierarchy evaluation tests what the descendants have prepared and brought for the elders of Hongren. What the descendants have prepared, huh? So this must be what Joshi Tuan was referring to this whole time. Yes, to be free from aging and death, immortality. Each candidate is to present an answer before the judge to demonstrate their idea of true immortality. Right, so the answer to true immortality then,
그건
not even Faust can answer that.
내놓을 수.
Then what are we even doing
뭐
here?
하자는
다만 진정한 블루불사의 실마리가 있는 듯.
But we may be able to demonstrate a facsimile of immortality, or at least pretend as though we are close to the
답을 원하는
answer.
건 그들이니.
Given that they are the ones who are seeking that very
정확히
answer,
말하자면
they will not disqualify us, Hong Lu to be exact, from the competition.
그럴듯해 보인다면
I see.
악착같이
They'll cling on to
매달려
whatever clue they can get their hands on, so we'll be using that desperation.
그렇습니다.
Precisely.
그 가무인과는
That important looking old vat Jamu favors him, doesn't she? Maybe she'll give him bonus points or something. So that's what we'll be using Honglu
그자가
for.
중요한 쓰임새가 된다는 거군.
그건
That is...
맞아요.
Yes, you're right.
이제
It's my
제
turn to
차례가
be
돌아온
used.
거죠.
Oh. Honglu nonchalantly chimed into the conversation, having slipped in between us unnoticed. Hey, you're prac pretty soon. Unfortunately, what Otis just said could sound quite crass depending on how you cut it. Honglu, you don't have to mind what she just said.
걸러들을 필요가
But why would I
없었거든요.
mind it?
저의 쓰임새는
My use is to be
소원이 있는 황금가지를
the ticket to
분석하기
participating in the Hierarch War,
그리고
the only
그러기
option
위해
for attaining the
가죽의
Golden
전에
Bow in
간다는
H Corp.
것이니까요.
She didn't say anything
그릇된
wrong.
말은
Your use.
이왕 쓰이는 거
Well, if you'll be
모두가
using
기뻐할
me,
수 있는
hopefully this will
쪽으로
lead to an
흘러가게 되면
outcome we can all
좋겠네요.
be happy with.
모두가 기뻐하기에는
Verily,
충분-
should
아까도
such
되게
outcome would be
마주쳤는데
best.
엄청 생코김을 내면서
Yet,
피해버렸어.
young Shichuan hath already exhaled with great gusto out of her nostrils before turning away from our party when our eyes met.
시춘이하고는
Well, Shichuan... Honglu's eyes twinkled briefly, as though he was shifting into a
다시
dream.
사이가 좋아지게 될
I didn't think it was
줄
possible for me to be friends with Shichuan
비록
again.
지금은
We're back to
다시
not
원래
being on
상태로
speaking terms
되돌아갔지만
again, but
잠깐이라도
it was as though I'd gone
어린
back in
시절로 돌아간
time.
것 같았거든요.
Back to when we were both children. Oh, let me turn the sound up. The voice is already max.
이제는
But we
까마득하고
can't go back to the past.
방금 뭐라고 했어?
What did you say?
지금 제자
Are you drunk or
그 말을
something?
나한테
Did you
한 거야?
really just say that to me?
바보
Oh,
같은
what a
소리야.
stupid thing of me to ask.
오빠는 평생
You've never been
피할
drunk
적도
in your
없을
life.
테니까.
Your mind's been
건대한
so
노력하고
damn
말을
clear.
어차피 내가
None of
이렇게
this matters to you,
하는
does
소리들도
it? Even when I get angry at
오빠에게
you, or
아무런
when I
소용도
shout at you
없을
like
거
this,
아니야.
none of it gets to you, does it? Just
도대체
what happened to you that day?
그게 무슨 일이
How can
있었길래.
someone become so... Shichun, I...
됐어, 마음대로 해.
Forget it. I don't care.
제대로
Do whatever you want to do.
한 명쯤은
It's
있을
my
거야.
fault for expecting to have at least one normal sibling in this messed up family. In that memory, Honglu was wearing a quiet smile, even before her hushed anger. But you don't want to be friends with her again?
결국 사람과의 연이란
At the end of all things, these connections between people, they're just moments, ephemeral things.
그러니 저의 뜻이
So what
어떻게
I want doesn't
큰
matter.
상관이 없답니다.
Honglu, a sinner so aloof, so detached that it feels as though we've been floating through the clouds. I once thought that he was just the kind of guy, that was just the kind of guy he was. Someone who just happened to be above everything that's happening around us, instead of just another messed up person with messed up problems of their own. But slowly and gradually, I began to realize there was something off about him under the surface. Honglu, about participating in the family hierarch war, do you really not feel anything about it? Have you completely excluded yourself from it?
네?
I
그냥
don't,
그런 거구나
and I have.
생각하고
It's just the
있어요.
way things worked out, right?
관리자님, 애초에 저자의 가치 판단이 이 회사에 유의미한 영향을 끼칠 수는 없을 겁니다.
Executive Manager, it's true that his value judgment will be no tangible influence on this company's direction.
파우스트도 동의합니다.
Faust is in agreement. Sinners do not have the right to refuse their missions.
존재하지 않으므로
그건 사실일 테요.
That may be true, yet
그에 따르는
I find it unnecessary to turn away and neglect the suffering conditions of their hearts, stemming from the obligation to their missions. Hey 631, 早上好. I'm coming with new fan art for your new model. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Roa. Hey Sanguine. Imagine Shihua gets out of the shorter body after each beheading. Bro, he's so short already. He's gonna turn into a gnome.
마음의 상태가
Conditions of our hearts,
하지만 구태여
but
마음을
perhaps
들여다볼 때
unnecessarily peering into
괴로움이
them
생기는 것
is how we
아닐까요?
beget suffering.
그것이 무슨
What manner of?
이곳
Back then,
대감원에서 머물고
when I
있었을
lived here in
뿐이죠.
Dongguanyun,
제게는
so many
선택지가
chances,
끊임없이
choices
지나쳐가곤
passed before
했어요.
my eyes.
다른 가문
Should I kill that
형제가
child who
있어야
was from a
하는지,
different family?
제가
Should I even
선택을
survive?
하는지,
Should I walk past that
죽어가는
dying
저
boy,
아이를
or should I
두고
stop to help him?
그냥 지나쳐야 할지 처음에는
When they were
제가
first
무언가
presented to me,
선택해보려
I
했답니다.
tried to make a choice.
하지만
But
그
it didn't
선택에
take that
아무
long for me to
의미가 없다는 걸
realize
아는 것에
that my
그리
choices meant
오랜
nothing.
시간이 걸리진 않았어요. 그래서 저는
So I
어떤 것도
decided not to
택하지
choose at
않기로
all.
했답니다. 그게 지금의 저예요.
And that's me as I am now.
림버스 컴퍼니에 입사하게 된 후에 좋았던 점은 수도 없이 많지만
There were so many wonderful things about joining Limbus Company, but
제가 무언가 선택하지 않아도
I think my
된다는 점이
favorite part of the
특히
experience
좋았던 것 같아요. 같아요.
was that I was never given a choice.
조금
That's definitely kind of
이상한 것
weird.
같은데요?
어라?
Oh,
분위기가
looks like
조용해졌네.
things have gotten weirdly quiet around here.
사담은 여기까지 하도록 하죠. 해야 할
That was enough
이야기가
discussion in
많습니다.
private matters. There's much ground for us to
그럼
cover.
1차 대전의
Let's
계획에
begin
대해
discussing our plan for the
말씀드리죠.
first round. That's such an interesting perspective on things. Love you, girl. Oh, I love you guys too. Hey, pumpkin pie. The next morning. There's still some time until we have to leave. One baby the person is the scarecrows, veiled in nocturnal shadow. They were yesterday.
아직도 있었네요.
Wow, they're still here.
이곳의 자제들이 거쳐
There are training courts
앞에는
next to every building where
이런
children
식으로
of this place
잡고
live.
뛸 나이가 될지만
Here, every child of walking, running age get to play with these dummies.
놀이라.
Early education is important.
허수아비랑 어떻게
Yet,
노는
how doth one
것입니까?
play with these dummies? It appears that this dummy is adorned with the most dashing piece of fashion for its head.
그건 제가 7살 때 처음 봤던
That's the first dummy I
허수아비예요.
received when I was 7.
그때는
Back
말이죠.
then, I thought even dummies could feel pain when
허수아비들
struck.
때리면 아파서.
Such was the blissful rumination of those who were once children.
그럼 여기에 태어나는
So is it like
아이들은
tradition for kids
어렸을 때부터
born here
이렇게
to
자라야
formally
하는
learn
거야?
how to fight?
아, 그건
Oh,
아니에요.
not exactly.
이번에 할머니가 형한테 선물로 주셨다.
So this is what grandmother gifted you, big bro.
맞아.
Yep, I don't know how it works though.
잘 모르겠어. 옷 같은 걸 입혀주거나
It must be a doll or an
친구를
effigy for
매달아주는
dress up.
인형 아니겠어?
Perhaps you could adorn it with some trinkets.
보호형 집을 지켜주는
Maybe it's got like a
소중한
guardian
선물일지도
spirit that protects your
몰라.
house.
얼씨구
Oh boy.
이건 말이지.
Here, let me show you how it's done.
수홍이 할머니가 준 선물을 때렸어.
Why'd you punch grandma's gift?
그렇게 하면 아파하지 않을까?
Don't you think you're hurting it?
아파해?
Hurt it. Really now, this wooden thing?
이렇게 자라나야 살아남을 수
It's more that they
있다는
have to grow up
더
this way
정확할
if they
거예요.
want to survive.
생각보다 제대로 된
This WTD isn't so bad. What's WTD?
생각보다 정교하게 설계된 물건 같은데. 출발하기까지
I really
제법
try to give
시간이
my best.
남았으니
Back all the hard work is
사용해보는
clearly
것도
all my
나쁘지
joy in the
않겠군.
bad days. That's so sweet, Roa. I'm so happy that you enjoyed the streams too. Like, I'm happy to have you guys here. Like, you guys are the highlight of my days. That's why I wake up every day just to get ready. If I didn't see you, all of you here, I would probably not be streaming. The characters here are so cool. Yeah, I agree.
뭐
Oh, we're practicing on the training dolls.
들었나 제군들.
We have orders from the executive manager. From this moment forth, we'll put our all into layering utter ruin to these training dummies. I didn't even give an order! Oh well, it won't hurt to get their blood pumping now. All forces charge. Hey, she just started to usurp my authority. What the heck? Hikaru, sunfish, so pumpkin, Jiromuku, Roa. Love you guys. I might run to the bathroom really quick too. Oh, they move. Oh, they bleed. So? Yeah. Can we watch? Watch what?
비뚤어져.
Pew, pew, pew.
우리 식구를 건드렸겠다. 목이 피었잖아.
그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 난다.
떨거지면 잘라낸다.
일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이.
Yeah, I feel like if you're running blood fiends, like lust and wrath resonances are really easy. Wrath is easier for burn, but lust is for bleed. I'm gonna run. I love you. Oh, I love you guys too. Mwah. I know I say that a lot, but I really do mean it. Let me run to the bathroom once I set up my next line.
우리 식구를 건드렸겠다. 흙을 마실
Oh, I thought he already went.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려.
No.
13조 2항에
You're
맞춰.
back.
그게 제격이지.
합격장.
따뜻한
내가 어버이보다 뛰어난
대체로 저럴 때는 이유가 있는 법입니다. 이유를 잡아 쫓아보시죠.
점 찍었네.
These rounds can take a long time.
저 숟가락은 기억해 두겠습니다.
예쁘네.
What kind of sickness?
농담에서 취하할 만한 일이 생겼을 때
너희의 무기가 혈투를
죄인인가? 신지라.
아류탄 초평열 80 갈라지도록
예쁘네. 네 피분수.
제가 괜히 먹을 것들을 죄인인가?
Oh no, did I lose points for that? Recruiting Limbus players? Of course, of course.
효과를 기대했었죠.
Might just keep the Twitch from going to the evening too.
어버이를 향한
Why
죄책감도
not?
피를 먹으면
Bro, am I not gonna finish this today? We're only at 9. We have 19. It's 5 o'clock.
위에서 당신을
By the way, Anju still hasn't messaged me back.
당한 이유가 있겠지. 기대하고 있겠습니다. 단테.
Oh, these things are armored now.
기대해라.
Allergies still suck. Yeah, I feel that. I've been having really bad allergies for like last week. Today it's okay.
목이 피었잖아.
It's relatively better. I feel so Honglu. Hey, 4 Elemental, welcome in. Yeah, we're working our way. We're at 8-9 right now, and I probably have to crack open one of those like Encephalon boxes.
점 찍었네.
Oh, what? Why am I losing clashes? Or did I get countered? It should be. Oh, I probably got countered. I'm here to watch until stream ends. Well, don't forget to nap if you need to, Tay. Because I'm probably going to go... It's probably till like 11 p.m. 10 or 11. There's going to be a slight break at 6 o'clock. 11 p.m. Yep. Because once I'm done here with Limbus Company, I'm also going to do the evening rank session. Of course, if Anju and Mao don't show up, then I'll probably just take a break from IDV as well, since I've been streaming all day today. Anju's fake? True! This fake guy. Fake cat. He's a tiger all along. You should rank with us? Are you guys going to rank together? I missed some streams where we don't speak of that. It's all good. I stream like pretty much every single day.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내. 벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
완성되었나? 비뚤어졌구려.
해전병같이 무릎을 꿇고 있을
때인가 13번 수감자
갈라지고
평소처럼 넉살 좋게
Oh, he got
같이
staggers.
상황을 개선해 보시지.
Chapter 9. Mao showing up, I asked him earlier. Okay.
상쾌하군.
How refreshing. I guess morning workouts really do wake you up.
매번 큰일이
I've gotten so used to getting in
집이라고
tussles before we get to the real meat of the missions that mornings feel incomplete without some action. Nevertheless, this was a meaningful warm-up activity. So I'm meaning to ask, Honglu, why did you never consider participating? It seems to me that all of your other siblings have been waiting and training all their lives for this event.
단순해요.
It's simple,
가주가 되고 싶다고
because I never once thought I wanted to be the family
한
hierarch.
번도 없었어요.
Is it not truly most fortunate? Had you been born with the jade, had you not been born with the jade, my son, you would have had to toil all your life preparing for the family hierarch war, like your other siblings do. You needn't waste your strength on those things. To win the favor of the elders and Jamu, venerated be their blessings. Simply, witness as much of the world has to offer, jade of our family, my precious son Baoyu. More memories. What's wrong, Yiseng? You seem kind of distraught.
어제 파우스트 양이
It has to do with the plan Miss Faust had explained to us last night.
나는
I find the plan rather
탐탁지가 않소.
detestable.
저도요.
Me too. But Honglu said he's okay with it, so...
그런데 그걸
Can we even call it a plan if we're being
계획이라고
honest
부를
here?
수가 있는 건가요?
행동의 지침과
It matches the
계획의
definition of
목표가
a plan, given that it illustrates certain instructions to be followed for the purposes of achieving a defined goal.
그리고
And please remember that there are no second chances in the family hierarch war. Are we gonna kill Honglu and resurrect him? What the heck? My boy Honglu. I mean, if he's okay with it, to be free from aging and death. Young Master Baoyu and his 12 companions arriving at Tubi Tang. We entered the hall where the first round is to be held. As always, the servant by the gate announced our arrival with a resounding holler we'd grown to expect. An arena or stadium? I see, we have many eyes on us, Executive Manager. I looked up to see the audience seats, which were brimming with people, were divided into two stair-like terraces, and on the platform, the opposite sides of the hall, 3 shadows of chairs could be seen casting obscuring curtain fabric. As for us, we followed the attendant's guidance and stood next to each other, the other participants at the circular area in the center. So, are the evaluations happening past those curtains? Dayu? See someone you recognize?
아니요. 괜찮아요, 단테님.
It's nothing, Dante.
다시 만나도
Even if we were to meet
마땅히
again,
할 이야기가
we don't
없네요.
really have anything to talk about
인연이
anyways.
있다면
Maybe we'll have another chance
이야기할
later,
기회가
if fate
닿겠죠.
wills it.
시작하나 보네요.
Oh hey, I think it's finally getting started. The curtain slid open, and the old woman we saw from yesterday's banquet walked up to the platform.
나는 운이 따라주어 오래전 가모의
Many
자리에
scores ago,
올랐지만은
I ascended to the seat of Jamu with a stroke of
이제는
fortune.
이 자리를 내려놓고
Yet, a lifetime has
사람을
passed
흘러다니게
since I assumed this great responsibility. Such as it is, I seek to abdicate and walk the path of mountains and streams as a river does.
그리하여
With the seat voided, the responsibility seeks the one with the qualities of the family
자격을
hierarch to
갖춘
fill it.
자는 가씨, 설씨,
Good morning, Okiki.
사씨가의 기둥들로 이루어진 이
Thus here
대관원에
at Dongguanyuan,
우리가
a collective
하루도
upheld by
잊지 않고
pillars of the 4
추구하던
great
하나의
houses,
질문에 대한
Jia,
답을
Shi, Wang, and Xi. We once again ask you the perennial question.
그대들은
Have you brought
전력을
us
다하여
aught to prove
찾아왔을
that the
것이라
answer
믿는다.
indeed exists? Who's the woman next to her?
아, 제 첫째 누나인 원춘 누나.
She's my oldest sister, Big Sis Yunchin.
큐사에 아주 높으신
She
분과
married a very
친구로
important person in Q Corp
큐사에서
and spends most of her time there.
발걸음을 하셨나
Looks
보네요.
like she's visiting for the event.
비록 다른 둥지에 머물고 있던 몸이
Though I've resided in a foreign nest, I now return fleetingly to share the love with my flesh and blood, to fulfill my duties as observed by the order of filial piety.
최선을 다해
in return, that the truth shall be observed to the best of my abilities. Some of you may have walked a laid path, gentle to your feet, yet some of you may have struggled through the unlaid brutal path of craggy mountains, 1,000-fold to find your answers. Yet regardless of the severity of your sufferings, all of you, equally, have but one opportunity for the first round. Even still, you were all once prospective heirs of the great house. Even your failure shall bring power and prosperity to Dongryun. Now, come forth in order you are summoned, and demonstrate the invaluable answers to the question of the three freedoms. One from aging, one from death, and one from brevity of life. I have 140 pulls from internal sugar and I don't have her. I'm going insane. Is that from Cookie Run? If the nature of your answers is indemonstrable, present ironclad proof. Lose not, and discard not. Let flesh youth be unending and eternal. After their respective speeches, Jia Yunchen and Jiamu disappeared behind the curtains atop the platform. First candidate. It seemed that Honglu's father assumed the role of the host for the first round. Ren of the Wang family. Wang Ren, the first to be summoned, walked up to the platform. Behind him was his faction, who were dragging someone by a rope towards the platform. Hurry up, foolish thing. What are those dragging us to the stage? Whoever it is, they clearly don't want to be here. To be free from aging and death, huh? I suppose every wing dreams of escaping and rising beyond the body they were born with. H-Corp's pursuit of immortality probably isn't special in that regard. He bought a blood bag! That's when we were finally able to recognize who the candidate dragged up to the stage. The eyes, unfocused and red, mouth slick with drool dribbling down the mouthguard, meaningless snarling. That is a mindless blood bag. How does a blood fiend become an answer to immortality? In layman's eyes, blood fiends may appear to have truly attained freedom from aging. However, as we are now aware, blood fiends can grow old and weak after a prolonged period of blood deprivation. Thus it is unlikely to provide the answer they seek. After some struggle, the blood bag was kicked and growling past the curtains atop the platform. So that creature is the fabled blood fiend then. I doubt that'll do the job. Blood fiends would indeed be quite esoteric knowledge. But to the judges of this contest, I doubt they're anything more than lukewarm trivia. That Wong kid must have been pretty desperate, huh? He's either lazy or that boy isn't right upstairs. It appears that the knowledge of blood fiends is oddly common amongst this ilk. Indeed, blood fiends are present in every nest. 'Tis little surprise that those privy to arcane knowledge arts are well aware of their existence. After a brief moment that lasted then a minute, Wang Ren and his faction emerged from behind the curtains and descended from the platform. Stand upon the podium and await your judgment. Then they ascended the round podium behind the platform as ordered. Thus, announcing Wang's results for round 1, elimination. Listen, all they need is blood. As long as you supply them with enough blood, they will be eternal and everlasting. Venerable Jiamu, please. Nay. What awaits them is no eternity at all. Verily, I know not the shape of this true immortality the valuation seeks to attain, yet the longevity of a blood fiend, shackled by blood and endless suffering, is unlikely to be one. But those damn hunters told me they still retain all their memories. To become a blood fiend is to surrender all the desires and emotions that exist within thy being for a single hunger of blood and only blood. Perhaps that is an acceptable condition for those who expect nothing but fathomless torment for the rest of their lives. Yet for those with much to lose, with much in life they cling on to, as those present seem to, the fate of blood fiends is no freedom from aging and death. 'Tis but a sanguine shackle to enslave their minds. A member of Baoyu's faction has given an excellent reply. No further elaboration is necessary. Dang, everyone can hear her? This is like a large audience hall though.
진짜 고위 혈귀를
And you have failed to bring us a high kindred, let alone a blood fiend at all.
성에 또한
This creature is but a
부족하다고
miserable blood bag. I cannot even well commend your efforts. Here, Ren of the Wong family, they have spoken, and mercifully given you the full explanation of your mistake. A privilege that failed candidates do not deserve. Let this be the final blessing of your life. Oh! The podium suddenly opens under their feet, casting Wong Ren the blood bag to its depths, with a blood-curdling screech. So that's what happens when you fail to pass? That's just for dramatic effect. There's like a sliding path leading upstairs, right? Of course not. Can't you smell the stench of festering pain, rising like the heat from the depths?
류슈도 참 점점 살벌한 농담이 늘고 있다니까.
저 발판 아래
Where does that hole
이어지는
lead?
거지.
Judging by the time between the drop and the sound of the fall, I presume it goes quite far down.
아마도
He actually has like a trap door. That's so crazy.
아,
Is Moonlight here?
물 같은 건 아니랍니다.
Probably leads to a place with a lot of old family secrets. Oh, not treasures, of course. But trying to figure that out might get you a visit from the Hay Show, probably. They went all out with the theatrics, huh? Yeah, and we could very well be the ones screaming on the one down the hole later. Next candidate is second. The second candidate hails from the Shui family. We sat through a few more names and subsequent failures. We couldn't hear exactly what they were talking about beyond the curtains. And unlike the very loud and obvious blood bag, the answers other characters brought were less obvious. So all we had to go on were the shadows of their desperate attempts to explain things before the judges. Another one. Bah! It means boring as hell. Nice! I got that one. The longer we watched the death toll rise, the less shocking they became.
아 이거 합격이란 게 있긴 있는
Well, let
거야.
me check something real quick. Huh? Why is it? Are they planning to fail everyone? Eighth candidate, Baochai of the Shui family.
아는 사람이.
Oh look, we know her! She was technically our competition, but it seems she managed to give the sinners quite the positive impression with yesterday's brief encounter. Some of them were even cheering her on. We couldn't see exactly what it was that Shui Baochai felt, but she was also holding something as she entered past the curtains. Baochai of the Shui family. After her brief meeting with the judges, which going by the shadows cast on the curtains, appears to have gone better than we expected, she emerged. And as soon as she did, Baochai immediately turned in our direction. At Honglu to be exact.
보고 있었구나.
Wow, about you, were you watching me? And began excitedly waving her hand. She passes. The podium beneath her remains shut.
잠깐이나마 인연을 맺었던 얼굴이
Passing connection it may have been.
떨어지는 건
Yet,
보고
I
싶지
ill wish to see a familiar face claimed by the abyss.
다행이구려.
Thus, I am glad.
17번째 참가자
17th candidate. Yashicho is proposed. She slowly ascended the platform, unaccompanied. She held in her hands a tightly sealed gourd bottle.
비로소 얻었나 보네요.
Looks like she found it. She found the river we saw in Don Quixote's memories back then.
말도 안 돼.
She reached
그
Leaf?
레테를
정말 그곳에 도달했을 가능성은 한없이 낮습니다.
The possibility that she actually reached there in person is infinitely minuscule.
물론 천문학
There's an infinitesimal statistical possibility that she could have reached the river. Yet, not even Faust can conceive how someone of their capabilities could reach the fountainhead of one of the deepest fathoms. This becomes even more impossible when considering the relatively short passage of time since then and now. A more likely explanation might be that she obtained the waters by collecting its dew or a portion of what has seeped out.
근데 그 강물은
Alas,
기억을 깊게
that
채워서
river's
지워질
waters
뿐인데
serveth only to put one's slumbers to one's memories. Pray that this truly hold the link to immortality that they seek.
아마도
Yes,
저들이 원하던
is likely
정신의
connected to the
불사와
immortality of the
밀접한
mind they
관계가
pursue.
있을 테죠. 그 정보를 알고 있는 이도
As there are
북소문만큼
but extremely small number of people privy to the knowledge of the rivers, if the contents of that bottle are genuine, Faust expects her to pass.
가시 시춘
She passes.
합격
귀한 걸 얻어왔구나. 네 세가로 이걸 얻으려면 보통의 노력으로는 안 되었을 텐데.
You have brought before us a priceless treasure. It must be taken in paralleled efforts to obtain this, given the meager size of your clan.
감사합니다.
Thank you, big sister Yunchin. As Faust expected, all three judges appeared quite satisfied with what Jia Shichuan brought before them. Is it our turn? It's 12 a.m. here. Well, if you need a rest, you can rest, bro. I'll still be live if you wake up. Like, oh, there's a fight. Wait, did I? Hold on. The single pulls are open. Yeah, I got nothing.
하루가 저물어가는 동안 나는 그저 서 있을 뿐이었어.
고작 이 정도로 만족하려고 폐륜의 죄까지 저지른 게 아니야.
이 정도면
Just collect our daily stuff.
벌써 한바탕 했나.
야야, 적당히 해. 곧 손가락 걸기라는 거 잊었냐? 대가리끼리 서로
Encore.
불편하지 않게 이쯤하고 철수하자고.
What are we doing in Encore? Let me use a couple of these boxes. We might split this up into 2 parts. Pull. I might pull a little bit more later. Should we split this up into 2 parts though? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking we should because my throat's starting to dry out. We'll go until I run out of enkephalin energy.
그 다음 대체 몇 명이나 가시 가문에
Juan. Our first meeting with that man was less than amicable, and I had a strong feeling that another one wasn't going to do anything to improve that. Zhao Hong walked up to the platform. We all fell silent, healing her familiar name. I could feel that some sinners were growing tense, some of them even gritting their teeth. And the other man closely following Zhao Huan, holding what looked like the egg of an abnormality, was also a familiar face. I'd seen him many times in Yiseng's memories.
저 사람들이 입고 온 거 보여요?
Are you seeing what they're wearing?
에고 장비다.
Ego gears.
LC처럼
It can be speculated that they've either developed their own method of extraction, or scavenged them from lobotomy corps. Ubo carries what appears to be an egg of an abnormality.
그대로 보여줄 수 있는 거?
Are they planning to just offer them an abnormality egg? How's that an answer to
해석의
anything?
여지에 달렸지만
While there is room for interpretation,
환상체 역시
some may present a reasonably argued
가까운
interpretation
존재라
that abnormalities
해석될
are
수도
entities
있다.
that neighbor immortality.
어떤 환상체의 알인지가 관건이겠고.
So the linchpin of their success hinges on an abnormality's egg that ends up being.
하지만 제가 아는 가완
If it's Big Brother Jiahuan, I know he's never going to risk his life for something he thinks will fail.
가시환
Huan of the Jia family passes the first evaluation. Contrary to most of our wishes, Jia Huan manages to pass the first round as well. Many more candidates came and went. One of them carried a massive, mysterious coffin. One of them brought a thick book, and one of them presented a cage so tiny we couldn't see what was within. Some of them managed to pass, while some of them were sent screaming into the mysterious abyss. As we waited and watched the candidates come and go, people from N Corp, their turn complete, approached us.
아직 황혼이 되기에는 이른 시각일 터.
Yet early it was for twilight to arrive. Thus early too is this meeting of ours. As if to prove his own words back at the LCE that he's come to accept certain things as they are, Yiseng coolly regarded his old friend who was now working for N Corp. You must find this small and barren respite of yours quite enjoyable. I've not seen you jest as you do now since the league fell.
어쩐 일로 내게 걸음한 것이
For what do you now approach me?
살갑게 담소를 나누기엔
The rift is too great betwixt us to chatter of any kind of affection to speak of. Do not mistake my intent, for it wasn't I who desired to approach you. My teammates simply wished to have the look at his brother's face, and I thought I might as well see how you were faring.
가주대전이 열리니
Looks like everyone's coming back to Danghonrin now that the family hierarchy war started.
그날 이후로는 처음
Brother,
보네.
this is our first meeting since then, right? Huh. If it isn't the dotish fool who has his eyes but knows not how to see. I know you well enough. You normally turn purple with aversion upon hearing even a brief mention of the word hierarch. So why are you here? Who are you and your stinking entourage working for this time? Is it that short girl blinded by her looks or that revolting rot within? Or is it Shitron who still defends you? And your meaningless faux profound spiel, deluded in her belief that you're still the same boy from her childhood. That's kind of rough. Why didn't you save him? No, let me ask you a different question. Why did you save her and only her?
형, 사람은
Brother,
필요 않고 죽기
humans
마련이야.
die. It's what they're born to do.
곧 다음 심사가 시작됩니다. 참가자분들은 자리로 돌아가
The next
주십시오.
candidate will be judged soon. Candidates, please return to your seats. You're just a servant. You're barely even a living thing. Let us return. This discord will not bear any fruit. That's sure sour things. Those shameless bastards. It's obvious they're here to nick our things again. Maybe, but something about them feels different today.
어느 쪽이든
Whichever the case, the safer option would be to place higher than them. Another one falls. His family has to be watching this, right? I wonder if they'll be okay. Sinclair mutters, watching another candidate fall down the trapdoor. I can't imagine how anyone would be okay watching their own fall. Like, Sinclair, the people sitting behind us, they're his parents. We raised that failure as our son? What a pathetic disappointment.
그래도 우리
Don't worry,
셋째는
I have
잘해낼
faith in our
거예요.
third child. I mean, it's not like we expected anything from this one, right? Now I see what it means to dedicate your whole life to becoming the family hierarch. Yi Sing and Gubo's reunion? That one, I don't know. I just feel bad every time someone talks about Shichun. She kind of... Is it live? Oh, Shuda. Boss looks so cool. I love her design. Yeah! Many people desperately vie for the seat of family hierarch. Of course, some of them, like his parents, hope to have their friends or close blood relatives become the family hierarch instead.
직접 가주가 되지 않더라도
So they seek to seize a lifetime's worth of riches, power, and recognition by planting someone they can control in the family hierarch seat without becoming one themselves. That kind's got a low shelf life. Looks like I finally got to know how my long-lost siblings are doing, thanks to this unforeseen opportunity. Pun. She's got an interesting design. Sure, Pun. Have we heard that name before? This is Bao Chai's older brother. Shrepan walked up to the platform, holding what appeared to be a large jar with multiple talismans plastered over it. Is it just me, or does this guy look like he's totally up to something? Instead of ascending to the platform and into the curtains, he walked up to the podium. Mate, looks like he's completely lost the plot. You will ascend the platform and enter the curtain's threshold. Where's the fun in walking down the straightforward road? It's only right that something so precious and entertaining should be shared with everyone, don't you agree? He places the jar on the ground, and from within, a desiccated hand emerges. Pathetic sorcerous trickery. Ryoshi mutters with palpable distaste. I see. Corpses, their desiccated flesh covered in light, sparse layers of old papers, crawled out of the jar and began to shamble. They're neither distortions nor abnormalities. Their behavior reminds me of blood bags, or sub-entities enslaved by abnormalities. Any semblance of consciousness has been stripped from them. They'll attack indiscriminately. But it seems that they're just intent on maiming and killing whoever they can get their hands on. Executive Manager, we must prepare for battle. Your orders. The jar monster set upon the audience, stuffing the struggling, still breathing victims into their jars. Why aren't the organizers doing anything? This event is hosted by a wing, isn't it? Because there isn't a rule that the family hierarch word that prohibits bringing harm to other people. So they're just going to sit back and twiddle their thumbs because no one specifically told them to step in? Should we step in? We should probably survive and ensure our safe participation in the hierarch war. As the monsters began to swarm in, some candidates scattered and ran away, while some stood their ground and fought back. Those who did neither were the ones getting slaughtered. I was simultaneously reminded of Sod, and the confident smile she flashed at me. She reassured us that she should be able to pass the first round with little to no trouble. Looks like we have no choice but to take them down. Another fight? Yeah, looks like it. This event is kind of cool. And the jars are kind of interesting. Ugh. Some of them have 3 heads. Am I clashing one extra? You should be. Oh, these are speed based. Okay. That's dumb. It's fine. Shark! Is there actually a mermaid in this game? I keep seeing Artisan Orchard girl. She's not a mermaid. She's a sailor. If you're talking about Ishmael, she's a sailor. Oh, jeez, this thing kind of hurts. I can't change the thing, so it doesn't really matter. Oh no, should I have ran Faust here? Now that I have a fluid sack. Yeah, it's Ishmael. I was just confused to see her as a mermaid. Yeah, it's probably just an outfit she's wearing. How are you doing today, Shark? I'll probably take a break after this, actually, because I'm like kind of tired of reading. Fighting my urge to sleep. Yeah, it's all good. Your team is good for now. Alright. Yeah, I figured it's okay for now. This is like the best team from Kanto 7, so unless they need to roll for some Kanto 8 people, I think it's fine.
네 피분수.
그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 너무 맛이 나는군. 일 처리는 빠르게 하는.
Wow, there's so many of these things.
방법이지.
I don't have I have vines. I don't need to use it just yet though.
비뚤어져 끓여.
Oh, nice. I hope I get the reward for now. It has to be complete within 10 turns. I don't know if I'm there yet. I mean, like, Donkey is kind of crazy. Alright, I need to take a quick break though, because my throat's starting to hurt. But let's see what happens now. The thumb? The thumb is here? Alright, let me do this. Collect the past missions. Okie dokie. And if I do end up streaming tomorrow, we'll come back and we'll play some more Limbus Company right after the stream. We'll finish up the rest of the Kanto or the chapter 1, part 1, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And yeah. Let's go raid Salem. We might be playing IDV later with him later today. If Andrew's not here, we might just call it off because I don't really know what he's doing. And he's not responding to me at all anyways. So we'll figure it out. But thank you guys so much for joining me for stream today. I love you all. Make sure to take a break, you guys, yourself. If I do come back, it'll probably be around 8 to 10. It'll be a lot shorter. I don't think I'm going to go all the way to 11 because my throat's starting to hurt. So, but if you don't see me later this evening, you will for sure see me tomorrow. Wait, no. Maybe. You might see me tomorrow. I'll let you guys know over Discord if I'm streaming or not. But just go under the assumption that I am. Alright, love you guys. Mwah! Big kiss from me, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
그대 드디어 목적지를 찾은 것이오.